name is Julia, and in this video I will present you with Loyverse features and how to use it in your retail business. Let's start our journey from the Loyverse main website. Here you can find all the necessary information regarding Loyverse before you get started. You can check our features, our supported hardware, the pricing, the business types where Loyverse can be used, and today we will discuss details about retail, the products that Loyverse offer for your business, our app marketplace, and also our help center. Loyverse is a point of sale and an inventory management software that provides an ease of mind for the business owner. Using Loyverse, you can simplify your daily tasks such as making sales or keep sales and inventory records, perform cash register reconciliation, and most importantly, avoid human errors when taking orders or managing your inventory. Loyverse offers several products for your retail store. Our two main products are the Loyverse POS and the back office. The Loyverse POS is a mobile point of sale that can be downloaded on any Android or iOS device and give your business a modern look. Loyverse is affordable, it will take no space, and you can either fix it at the cashier or take it with you and assist the customers immediately from any area of your store. The back office is an online cabinet that works in synchronization with Loyverse POS, and it will give you diverse sales report to make a complete view of your business and allows you to adjust settings and manage your Loyverse account. In addition to these two main products, Loyverse also offers two additional applications: the Loyverse dashboard that complements the Loyverse POS app and puts key real-time information about your business at your fingertips, allowing you to make important decisions immediately. And the Loyverse CDS, the customer display system, that again works in synchronization with Loyverse POS and will display the price information to your customers at the moment of the sale. Loyverse is a cloud-based system. All the information is saved in the cloud and you do not need any extra hardware to store your data. You can check your data at any moment, anywhere, from any device that has a browser. Now, let's start by creating the Loyverse account. Now, you can create a Loyverse account directly from Loyverse website by clicking on the Get Started button, or you can download Loyverse POS application on your Android or iOS device and create your account from there. When you click on the Get Started button, you will see a simple form that you have to fill in order to create your account. You need to provide information such as an email, the password, and this will be your credentials that you will use anytime that you will enter to your Loyverse account, a business name, the country where you are from. You need to agree with Loyverse terms of use and privacy policy, which you can check before clicking on this button, and click on the sign up button. Once you click on the sign up button, you will be directed to your Loyverse back office, which, as we mentioned, is like your online cabinet that works in synchronization with Loyverse POS and will allow you to adjust settings, to manage your Loyverse account, and most importantly to see different reports to have a more complete view about your business. Now, once you are in the back office, the first section that you see is the report section. But let's start from the account settings. So, when you created your account, you added some information such as the email, the password. Now, where can you see those data? If you click on this three-lined icon and click on Owner, you will see Account. And in this section, you will be able to see the business name, the email and password that you set up in the registration form. And from this section, you can also choose the currency that you want to use for your Loyverse account. You can choose the time zone that will affect the time when you receive low stock notifications, the user interface language that affects only the language of the back office and will not influence in the language of the POS application itself. And from this section, it's also possible to delete your account if you no longer wish to continue using Loyverse. If you made any mistake, for example, in the owner email address, or maybe you want to change the password, you can change it from here. Please know that the owner email address is very important. In case that you have any issues from with your account, you have to send us a request from this owner email address. So make sure that you use an email address that is working, it is real, and you have access to. Now, in the Loyverse back office, you have a settings sections where you can configure the features that you want to use in Loyverse, and you can disable features that you don't want to use. So there is this menu called features, and there is a list of optional features that will not be activated by default when you create your Loyverse account, but you need to come here first in the back office and activate, and later on use these features in the POS application. Some of these features that I would recommend to activate for your retail business would be shifts, so that you can track the cash that goes in and out of your cash drawer, the time clock that will allow you to track the employees' clock in and clock out and give the system the possibility to calculate the total work hours, the customer display that allows to connect the additional application that we offer, the CDS, a customer display system that will display the order information to customers at the moment of the purchase. Low stock notification. If you activate this feature, you will be able to get daily email on items that are low or out of stock, and what is considered low you will decide for each of your items. And negative stock alert will allow to warn the cashiers if they attempt to sell more inventory than is available in stock. Once you activate these needed features by activating the toggle, you click on the save button and all the changes are saved. Then next, let's configure payment types. When you create your Loyverse account, you will see two payment types, cash and card. But in case that in your country you use other payment types, you can configure them in your back office and later use them in the POS during sales. To add a payment type, you just have to click on the Add Payment Type button. Here you can select the payment type. You have the card, check, other. Loyverse has different integrations with card payment system in different parts of the world. So if in your country we have integration with any card payment system, it will show in this list. If not, you can also choose one of these options or other if you want to use a payment type without integration. So I'm not writing any specific name, I'm just writing another card terminal. If you have multiple stores, you can also choose in which store you want this payment type to be available, and you click on the save button. Also in this section it is possible to add your taxes. So in case that you have taxes in your country and you want this tax to appear in the sales receipt and also to be calculated in your reports, you can add your tax. You can add your tax by clicking on the add tax button. You can add the name of the tax, the tax rate, you choose what type of tax is this. Loyverse supports two types of tax included in the price and added to the price, so you can choose the type of your tax. And also here you can choose among these options. You can choose to apply tax to all new items that will be meaning that for all the items that will be created after this tax is saved, or to all existing items that already exist in your item list, or to all new and existing items. Or you can also choose this fourth option, which means that the tax will not be applied to any item, but you can manually activate in the item card for the needed products. Taxes can also be available in different stores, and you click on the save button and the tax is saved. After configuring the tax, you can also make some receipt settings. In Loyverse, it is possible to send the receipt by email or to print the receipt. That's why in the receipt setting you have these two sections where you can set up a logo for the emailed receipt, and you can also set up a logo for the printed receipt. Why there are two separate sections here is because the emailed receipt, for the emailed receipt you can use any image that you want, but for the printed receipt it needs to be a black and white image. Here you can set up also a message that you want to appear in the header of the receipt. In the same way, you can add a message that you want to appear in the footer of the receipt. There are two extra settings here: show customer information and show comments. So in Loyverse it is possible to add customers, and to each customer you can add some details such as their email, phone number, address. And when you assign a customer to the ticket, you can decide if you want this information about your customer to appear in the receipt or not. This is important if, for example, if you will do delivery and you need the driver to know the address of the customer, you can activate this show customer information, and when you assign the customer to the ticket, all this information that you have added about this customer will be printed in the printed receipt. Meanwhile, show comments. You can, when you add an item to the ticket, to every item you can add a comment. and this comment will always show in the receipts that are saved in the system. But if you want these comments to appear also for the printed receipt for the customer, you need to activate this toggle here. And there is the possibility here to choose the language of your receipt, which is separate from the language of the back office and the language of the POS app. So you can choose if the language that you need is among the languages that we support, and click on save, and your receipt settings are saved. In the settings section, we see also these two menus, stores and POS devices. In Loyverse, it is possible to manage multiple stores under the same Loyverse account. So when you create your Loyverse account, one store is created by default and will have the name that you set up in the registration form as your business name. You can change that name, of course, by going to this store section, click on the store and change the name, and click on the button save. And also in this section, it is possible to add more stores. So you can click on this button, add store, indicate the name of your store. It can be any name that your business has. You can write some optional information as well, such as the address, the phone number, the VAT number of the store, or even a description, and click on the save button, so your store is added. Now, for each store, you see there is this column here, name that says number of POS. So each store needs to have its own POS devices from where the sales will be made. Now, we mentioned that Loyverse POS application can be installed in any Android and iOS device. To be able to sign in the Loyverse POS application with the account that you just created, you need to configure some POS devices from the back office first. So for example, for one of my stores, I have already 2 POS devices activated, but for Ohana store and the store 2, I don't have any POS device, meaning that I cannot make any sales currently. So I need to configure the POS devices first. So just to add a POS device, you need to click on the add POS button, write the name of the POS, and select the store to which you want to assign this POS device. Once the POS device is created, it will appear in the list with the status not activated, and to activate this POS device, you have to download Loyverse POS in an Android or iOS device and sign in with the credentials of your Loyverse account. These are some settings that you can do before you start using Loyverse, so this is recommended. And then let's go to configure our items. In this section items, there will be subsections like item list, categories, modifiers, and discount. Before starting to add your items, I would recommend to create some categories first, so that when you create your items, you can easily assign them to the categories that you have already configured. So you click on the category menu, and I have already, as you notice, configured some categories. I can add a new one just by clicking on the add category button. I can indicate the name for my category. I am selling clothes, for example. And I also am selling shoes, so I will write sneakers, for example, and I will choose a color and save. After adding my categories that I want to use, I have added bags, belts, dresses, jeans, jumpsuits, shoes, sneakers, watches. So after configuring my categories, I can go to the item list so I can add my items. Items can be added one by one from the back office, or in case that you have many items, you can import them in bulk. By clicking on this import button, you will see the template file that you can download, so you can fill with the information of your items according to Loyverse template, and later on you can import the file in the Loyverse back office to add all your items at once. But as I mentioned, you can also add items one by one from here, and I would recommend that if you want to use the import function, it is good to add some items manually from the back office and then export this list that will guide you to fill the information for your other items. So let's see how we can add an item. So we click on the add item button. I can write like the name of the product. I can assign a category to it. Here we can add a description. The description is something that will not be shown in the sales screen. It's just for internal purposes, and it will appear only in the back office. I can choose if I want to sell my item by each or by weight or volume. In this case, it will be each. I can write the price and also the cost, so that the system can use this information to calculate my profit. I can write the SKU is a unique identifier that the system used to identify each of the items in my account. As you see, it's a number it is auto-generated, but in case that you want to change, it's also possible to add it. In this section, we can add barcode for my items in case that you use barcode. So you can add barcode by typing the barcode like manually, or by connecting a barcode scanner to the device that you are using to open the back office. When you connect the barcode scanner, if you click on this field and scan the barcode, this field will be filled with the barcode of the scanned item. Now, in the inventory section, I can choose if I want to track stock of my item or not. There is also this function here, composite item, that I will clarify later. But let's create a simple item for the first item that we want to create. So I will activate the track stock button. I see these two extra fields, primary supplier and default purchase cost, that are related with one of our add-on services, advanced inventory. So here I can link each item to its supplier and also indicate the default purchase cost, so that when I create a purchase order, I would not have to enter this purchase cost all the time, but it will be auto-filled. Here it's possible to create variants for my items, but as we mentioned, we will create a simple item this time. I will see the section stores if I have multiple stores in my account. That will allow me to decide in which store I want to sell the item that I'm creating. I can mark the item as available for sale in all stores, or I can mark the item as available in one specific store. Stores have separate stock, of course, so I need to indicate for each store the stock of my item. And because we activated the low stock notification from the settings, we can indicate a value that is considered low stock for my item, the dress. So for example, I will write 5. What the system does is that it reads this in stock and low stock, and will if the in stock value is lower than low stock, then I will get notified by email that this item is low in stock in this store. I can also add optimal stock for my item, which is kind of the opposite of the low stock. So I can indicate the system what level of stock is considered optimal for me to have for this product. This optimal stock is used when I create purchase order for my supplier. So what the system does is that it reads the in-stock value and the optimal stock, and it suggests the amount that I need to buy in order to achieve this optimal stock. If we scroll down, we see taxes. Because when we activated the tax, we have decided the option to apply tax to all new and existing items. The tax is automatically updated. But of course, you can turn off or activate the tax that you want. Then the representation on the POS, you can choose if the item will be represented in the POS with a color or shape, or you can upload an image from your gallery. So this is the simplest item that you can create in Loyverse. But of course, we also have 2 other types of items that you can use. For example, items with variants. That is used if items come in different variations, like for example sizes, shapes, colors. So you can instead of creating a separate item for each of these variants, you can create one item and create variants for it. For example, I have these sneakers here. Sneakers can come in different sizes, so instead of creating a different item, I have created my variant. I have indicated the option name, that is the characteristic that I will use to distinguish my variants, that is size, and here I have added all the sizes that I have available. Once I click on this button save, I see here the list of the variant that I have just created. Each variant for the item for the system is a unique item, because you see that the system generates different SKUs for each of them, and also they can have unique barcodes if you want to add. Now for each of these, of course, the rest of the configuration in the item card is the same. So I can indicate variants as available for sale in different stores. I need to add their stock for all of the stores, for each of the variants separately. Now I have added here for the Tulip Boutique, for example, I have filled this information for all of my variants, how many items I have currently in stock and what is the low stock value. Then the rest of the configuration is the same, so I see taxes and the picture that I have added for this product and how it will show in the sales screen. So this is the second type of item that we have, and then the third type of item that we have is called composite item. Composite item is an item that is composed of other items that you have in your item list. You can use this feature in case that you want to sell, for example, a combination of your items in a discounted price, but you don't want that the customer sees the original price of each item, but you can just make for example, a composite item. I created this Christmas offer, like my customers can buy a combination of 3 products in a discounted price. So to create a composite item, when we go to this inventory section, we need to activate this composite item toggle, and then the layout of the system will change, and we will see here components where we can add components, the items that already exist in our item list, and I have added a bag, this beret dress and grommet belt, with the quantity 1. So the system, what it does is that it multiplies the quantity by the cost that I have indicated per 1 unit of this item to give me the total cost of this composite item, and then I can indicate the price at which I will sell this composite item to my customers. Composite item works in this way that when I sell this item to my customers, the stock of the components will be deducted according to the quantity that I have indicated here. And then the rest of the configurations is the same. So we can click on the Save button. So these are the 3 types of items that you can use. And as I mentioned, you can also import items in bulk if you don't want to add them one by one from the back office. Now in the items section there is also a menu called discounts, where you can configure the discounts that you want to use during the sales. So when you add discounts, you need to of course you need to indicate a name, and Loyverse has 2 types of discount: percentage discount and amount discount. The difference between them is that percentage discount can be applied to specific items in the ticket. Meanwhile, the amount discount can be applied to the whole ticket, only to the whole ticket. It is also possible to leave the value of the discount here blank, so that when you try to apply it to the ticket, the system will ask you to enter the value that you want to apply. And discounts can also have restricted access, so this is related with employee management, so you can decide to restrict the access right of your employees and to give only certain employees the ability to apply a specific discount. When you have multiple stores, you can configure different discounts for different stores, or you can make the same discount available in all stores, as it is in the case, for example, here. So this is how you can create your discounts. Now, before going to the Loyverse POS application to see how the interface will look like and how we can make sales and in the store, let's also configure our employees. So there's this menu here called Employee Management, and you see the sections: Employee List, Access Rights, Time Cards, and Total Hours Worked. In the free version of Loyverse, there is only one profile, the owner, and the owner has all access rights possible. He can enter in the back office, in the POS application, in all the additional applications, and can manage all the information, can see all the information, can edit, delete, and so on. Now, if you want to add in your account employees and like manage, like if you want to add like extra employees, this will be part of one of our add-ons called the Employee Management. Employee Management will allow you to track each employee's sales performance and to make informed business decision based on it. You can see the information about the workload per hour for efficient management of your staff. You can manage your employees' access right to sensitive information and functions. And also, employees can use clock in and clock out, and the system will calculate their total hours worked. And of course, when you manage shifts, you'll be able to see who opened and closed the shift. So you can identify cash discrepancy at the end of the shift and track employees' inaccuracy or manipulations. So if you are going to add your employees, you can first of all check the access rights, where you'll see a list of roles that you can assign to your employees. By default, there are 4 roles: owner, administrator, manager, and cashier. But of course, this can be customizable, and based on your needs, you can add new roles as well and assign their access rights. The owner role cannot be edited. The owner has all access rights activated, and these are grayed out, so you cannot change anything. But for the other roles, you can decide what access rights do you want to give an employee with this role and what access rights you want to deny. For example, the cashier. So there are 2 blocks of access rights that are related with our 2 main products, the POS and the back office. So in the POS, I have activated for the cashier only access to the POS. In the POS, in addition to making sales, there is other functions that an employee can do. For example, they can view all receipts that have been issued in the POS device since the moment that you created your Loyverse account. So in case that you don't want your employees to be able to view all receipts, you need to disable this access right. And also here is apply discounts with restricted access that will allow employees to apply discounts to which you have activated this restricted access. They can change taxes in a sale, they can perform refunds, view shift report, open the cash drawer without making a sale, they can reprint or resend receipt, manage items, meaning that they can go to the item list in the POS app and add new items, edit existing items, or delete items. They can also change settings, meaning that they can add printer or any other extra hardware. They can change the item list layout, and also they can have access to the live chat support. So you can activate the access right that you want to give to your employees. So this is for the POS application. You also might have some, for example, administrator or manager who, in addition to having access to the POS, they also might need to have access to the back office. So if you activate access to the back office has all these sections. You can restrict and you can manage the access right of your employees so that they can enter only in the section that they need to have access to, but not other sections that might contain sensitive information. So, for example, if you want them to view only the reports, you can give only this access right, view sales report. If you want them to be able to cancel receipt or to manage items and inventory, will give access to these 2 sections, item and advanced inventory. Manage employees will give access only to employees. Manage customer will give access only to customer menu. Edit general settings, they can go to the settings page and change features, for example. Here, some of these options in the access in the settings are also divided in different access rights. For example, here is edit general settings. Manage billings is separate. That means it's related with the activation of the subscriptions or cancellation of the subscription. Manage payment types will allow the employee with such access right to add payment types or delete existing payment types. Manage loyalty program for your customers. Manage taxes, and manage POS devices will allow the employee to enter in the POS application with his own email and password, and also access to the live chat support. After you configure the needed access right for each of the roles, you can add your employees. So when you add employees, you need to indicate their name, their email, which is optional and will be mandatory only if you want to give access right to this employee to the back office, or you want to give him access right to enter to the POS application with his or her own email and password. You can add a phone, which again is optional, and here you select a role. For example, if I select cashier and cashier has access to the POS application, the system will automatically generate a POS PIN code for him that the employee will need to use to identify himself when he is using the Loyverse POS application. When you have multiple stores, you can choose in which store the employee will have access to. You can give them access to all stores, or you can give access only to one specific store. Click on the save and the employee is added. After adding the employee, this employee can enter like to the Loyverse POS application and will be able to stamp his clock in and clock out time, and all these time cards that will be stamped in the Loyverse POS application will appear in this time card section, and based on these time cards the system will calculate the total hours worked for each employee. For example, here one of the employees has already registered the clock in but did not clock out, so the system is calculating his total hours worked, and there will appear this report, total hours worked, that where the business owner can check who of his employees worked in this period of time, in which store they worked, and they can also filter the report like by different period of time, different store, and also if they want to check a particular employee they can also filter by employees. There will be this report which can also be exported and opened in Excel or Google Sheets or any other software, and you can use this information maybe to calculate the salary of the employees or their wages and something else. So this is about the employees. Of course, when we check the Loyverse POS application, we will see how they will sign in the or log in the POS app. I want to share that it is possible in Loyverse to manage your customers, so you can have a customer base. You can add customers one by one from the back office, or you can import them in bulk, but you can also add customers directly from the POS app. Of course, because Loyverse POS app and the back office are synchronized, customers will appear in both products. To add a customer, you just click on this add customer button. You need to add some information about the customer, such as the name, the email. Like the email is not mandatory, but if you prefer like to send receipts by email to the customers, it is good to have. Then the phone number, you can write the address, you can add a customer code. Customer code, for example, can be used if you have loyalty cards and you want to identify customers using these loyalty cards. You can add a customer code here, and then in the Loyverse POS application, just by scanning the barcode of the loyalty card, the customer will be automatically added to the ticket. You can also write notes about your customers. This will help like to have better relationship customers by knowing their personal preferences, so it is possible to offer them the best customer service. After you add this information, you click on the save button and the customer is added and you see their profile. Now, for the customers, the system will tell you some data, like it will capture their first visit in your store, their last visit, the total number of visits visited, their total spend, and also the points balance. Now, what are these points? In Loyverse, we have an inbuilt loyalty program, so you can give your customers bonus point for each sale that they make in your store. Now, how to configure this loyalty program? To configure the loyalty program, you have to go to the settings, to the loyalty menu, and here you can configure your loyalty program. You can set up a percentage of the purchase amount that you want to be credited to the points account of the customer. I have set up 2%, for example, so my customer will earn 2% of his total amount spent every time that he makes a sale in my store. Now, these bonus points will appear in the customer profile here, and they can be used to give them discounts at the moment of the sale. Now, to see how this looks like in the POS application, we will now jump to the POS application to see the functions here. Now, as we mentioned, each employee has a PIN code. So when you try to sign in to the Loyverse POS app, of course, first of all, you have to sign in with the owner email and password, or if you give your employees access to enter with their own email and password, they can also use their own email and password. But after this first initial sign in, to be able to go to the app, you have to enter the PIN code to identify who is using the system. In this screen, in the right top corner appears this time clock button that will allow the employees to stamp their clock in and clock out time. So if I click this button and then I enter the PIN code of the owner of or one of the employees, if this PIN code is correct, these two buttons will become active and I can indicate if I want to clock in or clock out. I will choose clock in, so it will say that the owner clocked in at this time and I can go to the POS. Now, I have activated the shift features because I want to track the money that goes in and out of the cash drawer, and I also want to track like this performance of my employees. So, to be able to continue to make sales, I need to open shift. To open shift, I need to click on this button open shift and enter the initial cash amount that is in the cash drawer at the beginning of the shift. So now the shift is opened. To see that the shift is opened, I can go to here. So I see the shift number, the shift opened by the owner in this date and time, and the system now will capture all this movement in the cash drawer and will generate this report at the end of the shift. So how to make sales? So this is the main sales screen that appears like this if you have installed Loyverse in a tablet. I see all of my items in this main sales screen that are ordered alphabetically, and to add items to the ticket I just have to tap on the item and it will appear here. If I tap it twice, it will increase the quantity and it will show this too. So I will add another item. You see it's added automatically. Let's also add the bag. The bag, for example, has variants, so I will see the variants available. I can indicate the variant that I want to add to the ticket. Now I am adding also, this item is out of stock, so this is the negative stock alert, so I can delete. I will also add another item that also have variants. I will choose the variant, but I wanted to show that here you can also apply discount to this specific item. So I want to apply discount only for this bag and not for the other items in the ticket, so I can activate the discount. As you notice, here will appear only percentage discount because only percentage discount can be applied to specific items in the ticket. We can also add customer to the ticket by clicking on this plus customer icon. Here will appear the customers that I have used recently. If I have a new customer in my business, I can click on the add new customer button and create a new customer from here immediately. But I will choose one of the existing customers. You see that you can see the customer profile. I can see also his available points. I will add it to the ticket. Let's charge. So in this next screen you will see the cash. I need to select the payment type, so the default is cash, so it will appear here cash received. So this is the total of the receipt, but maybe if the customer gave like more money and I need to calculate the change, I have to indicate the amount that the customer is giving to me and click on this charge button. If the customer will not use cash but will use another card, another payment type, I can select the payment types that I have already configured in my account. It is also possible to split payments in case that the customer wants to pay half in cash or half in card, for example. We can use this function split. The system will automatically split payments in 2 equal parts, but I can increase this number, and also I can choose different payment types for each of these payments, and I can also edit this quantity. For example, the customer will pay 100 euros in card and the remaining, it will be auto adjusted, will pay in cash. So I will need to charge both of these payments and then the sale will be finished. So it will see done. As you notice, my customer earned bonus point because I have configured the loyalty program, so they earned 2% of this total amount. And also the email field is auto-filled because the email was added to the customer card, so I can send this receipt by email to my customer, or I can print the physical receipt if I have connected a receipt printer. If I click on a new sale, I am back to the main sales screen. Now, in the sales screen, as I mentioned, the items are ordered alphabetically. You can filter items by clicking on the All Items button, and you'll see all the categories that you have configured in your account. You can also search for your items using this search bar. If you can also connect a barcode scanner and scan the barcode of your item and add it automatically to the ticket. But in case that you want to accelerate like your the sales process, you can also create custom pages with different categories of items or items that maybe are more preferred by the customers. So how to do that? So this is the main sales screen, and here there is this button called page 1. If I click on it, I will see this empty page for the moment. To add some items to this page, I just need to tap and hold on any of these squares. You see that the plus icon appears in all of these squares, and the assistant goes in item layout setup. So I can add, as it's mentioned here, your most used items, categories, and discounts on the pages for fast access. So if I click on any of this plus icon, I will see all the items that I have configured in my account. And I can add, for example, if I want to add all of my dresses in one page, so I can add maybe the most favorite dresses by my customers. But in case that I have like many items, I can also add the whole category. Like I can add the category here, dresses, for example. I will add also discounts, so I can find them very easily. And also we can name this page by tap and hold. I can write the name of this page, and I can also create another page. So you see here appears page 2 empty, so I can add other items here. For example, I can add the jackets. And as we mentioned, we can also add the whole category. So in this way, we can create these custom pages that will allow to find very easily the item that the customer wants. And once I'm done, I can create up to 6 custom pages. Once I'm done, I click on the done button and these pages will be saved. So this is the main screen, and then these are the customized pages. If I click on the name of the category, for example, since I have added categories here, the system will show me all the items that are linked to this category. Now in the POS, if you go to the POS menu, you will see the receipt section, where you can see all the receipts that have been issued in your Loyverse account since the moment that you created your account. Since I am signed in as the owner, I can see all of this receipt, but for your employees you can restrict so that they can see only the 5 latest receipts. So if I click on any of these receipts, I will see the details of the receipt in this right hand panel. I can search for different receipts by typing the receipt number or the name of the customer that was assigned to this receipt. And from this section, it's also possible to perform refunds. So if I want to make a refund, I can click on this refund button. We can make partial refund or a full refund. So if I want to make a partial refund, I have to tap on the item that I want to refund and click on the refund button. If I want to do a full refund, I have to select all the items in the ticket and click on this refund button. A refund receipt will be generated. You see here this new receipt that it has a different number, and it also contains the number of the receipt that it was refunded. So this is about the receipt section in the Loyverse POS application. Then we have the shift report. So shift report is being generated based on the sale that I am recording. So I had entered the starting cash, and the system captured the cash payments that I did, the cash refunds, and there are these 2 options here, paid in and paid out, that are related with cash management. So you can record money that goes out and in the cash drawer, not from sales but from different for different reasons. For example, I will pay, for example, for let's say electricity, or if something goes wrong, I need to take money out of the cash drawer, so I can record a payout. But I can also add money in the cash drawer. Maybe the owner left more money, so it can be a paid in. So the system will record this cash movement and it will appear here. And what the system does is that it calculates for you the expected cash amount. based on the starting cash, cash payments, cash refunds, paid in and paid out. So you don't have to calculate manually this how much money is supposed to be in the cash drawer at the end of the sale, at the end of the day, but the system calculates this automatically. And also in the second part of the shift report, you have the sales summary that contains all the sales, including those that were paid by different payment type than cash. So when we close the shift, need to click on this button, close shift. So the system will show this expected cash amount, and then the employee or the owner has to enter the actual cash amount. So if there is any discrepancy, the system will show this difference. If we click on close shift, the shift is closed, so we cannot continue to use the application unless we open shift. The shift reports will also appear in this icon here. We can print if we have connected a receipt printer, and the shift report will also appear in the back office once closed in the report section. Now we have the item list in the POS that allows us to configure items, categories and discounts very quickly and very easily. And we can also see the stock of our items from here, or edit, for example, if we need to edit. But of course, in the back office we have more extended features regarding items. And in the POS menu, we also have the settings. In the settings, it's possible to configure printers that you want to use for the receipt printers. You can connect the customer display application. In the general menu, it is possible to activate this function, use camera, to scan barcodes. So you can either connect an external barcode scanner with your POS device, or you can use the built-in camera as a barcode scanner. And also you can change the home screen item layout between grid or list, depending on which you perform the best. And from this section, it is also possible to sign out of the POS application. So these are the functions in the POS app. Now we will go back to the back office, because I would like to present you with our second add-on service called Advanced Inventory. Advanced Inventory includes a set of additional functions in the back office that allows you to use more efficiently, keep track of items in stock, to monitor any changes in the inventory. And also Advanced Inventory will is a mechanism for more accurate calculations of business profitability and indicators. Advanced Inventory includes these functions like purchase order, transfer order, stock adjustments, inventory count, production, suppliers, inventory history, inventory valuations, and also printing labels. When you have Advanced Inventory, you can add suppliers in your account. So you can add, let's add a supplier. From here we can write the name of the supplier. We can write so I will also add, for example, shoes to identify him more easily. I can add the contact, which can be the name and the surname of the supplier. I can add the email, because we can send him the purchase order by email. We can add phone number, we can add some other additional information, for example, website or email address and so on, like another address, and save. Now, once the suppliers are saved and you have this Advanced Inventory subscription active, of course, in the item card, if you remember, we can link each of the items to which we activate this track stock button to the primary supplier. So if we activate this button, here appears primary supplier and default purchase cost. When we want to purchase from our suppliers, we create a document called purchase order. So to create a purchase order, you have to click on this Add Purchase Order button, select the supplier, the store, let's say Tulip Boutique, the purchase order date, when do you expect to receive your order. You can add any notes, and then in the item section, you search for the item. You can search for the item by writing their name, by writing the SKU, by writing the barcode. And here you can add items one by one, but also you can import items in case that you want to add a large list of items and you don't want to do this one by one. You can create a CSV file with all the items that you want to purchase and the quantity that you want to purchase, and import this file in the back office. And you can also use this autofill option that Loyverse offers to add immediately all items that are linked to this supplier, or only low stock items that are linked to this supplier. In my case, I will add only some items manually, just to give the example of the information that you need to fill for a purchase order. So when you add items to the purchase order, the system will show you the current stock in this store that you have selected. It will also show if you have any items incoming, meaning that you have created a purchase order but did not receive it yet. The default purchase cost, it is automatically filled from the values that we have indicated in the item card. And then here I have to write the value or the quantity that I want to buy from my supplier. So after adding this value, the system multiplies the quantity and the purchase cost to give me the total amount that I will need to pay, which will appear also here. I can add additional costs in the purchase order in case that I need to pay for something extra, for example transport or taxes or packaging, because this additional cost that I will add will be distributed among all of my items, and after I receive this purchase order, the system will calculate average cost for each of the items that are in this purchase order. So I can click on the button Create. This purchase order in this moment is in the status pending. It means that the stock of my item has not been updated yet. In this status, I can add it in case that I need to add more items or change any information that I have already added. I can send this purchase order to my supplier by email. I can also download for myself as a PDF or CSV file. I can also duplicate, for example, if this can be useful if in the future I need to create the same purchase order and I don't want to fill it from scratch, so I can just duplicate these existing ones. I can print labels for my items since I'm waiting them to arrive, or I can also cancel in case that I don't want to receive this purchase order anymore or something happens. So if I receive my purchase order, so I click on the button Receive. I have the possibility here to mark all items as received in case that my supplier brought me the exact amount that I ordered, or I can write here manually, for example, how many items I got. In this case, I will mark all as received. Also, the tax is marked as paid, and I click on the Receive button. Now the purchase order changed status to closed. And in this moment that the status changed, the quantity or the stock of my items has been automatically updated without me having to go to each item and manually change the stock. So this is the first functionality, purchase order. Later on, we have the transfer order functionality that allows to transfer stock between branches if in case that we are managing multiple stores under the same Loyverse account. When we create the transfer order, we have to select the source store, the destination store, the date of the transfer order. We can add any notes that we want. Then in the items section, in the same way as for the transfer order, I can search items here manually, or I can import, like I can create the CSV file and import here so that I don't have to add items one by one in this section. When I add my items, what the system will show me is the current stock in the source store and the correct stock in the destination store. So this will allow me to see the current stock and to take the decision easily regarding the amount that I want to transfer from one store to the other one. When I create a transfer order, I have two options, create and receive, which will mark immediately the transfer order as completed and will update the stock in both the source store and the destination store. Or I can click only the create button, so the transfer order stays in status in transit. So the stock of the items is deducted from the source store, but it's not yet added to the destination store. In this status, I can edit, I can send by email, I can download for myself. And when the items arrive in the destination store, I click on the button Receive, and the stock of the item is updated in the destination store as well. So this is the transfer order functionality. Now, stock adjustments. Stock adjustments allow to record adjustments in stock and indicate the reason why this adjustment is being done. So when you click on the add stock adjustment, you can choose among 4 reasons. According to these reasons, the layout of the document will change. For example, if you choose receive, let me choose one of my stores and also add one item. So if I choose the reason receive, the system will show me how many items I have currently in stock, and I need to indicate the quantity that I want to add. Since the system understands that because the reason is receive, you want to add new stock. If I choose as a reason inventory count, I will see this expected stock and I have to add the counted stock. So the system makes the reconciliation and update the value of the stock to the counted stock. If I choose lost or damaged, I will see the in-stock information and I need to add the quantity that I want to remove. Because it's a loss, so the system understands that the inventory needs to be deducted. So after filling this information and clicking on the adjustment is immediately done, so the stock is updated according to the reasons that you have indicated in this document. This is the stock adjustment functionality. Then we have the inventory count. Since it is very important for businesses to reconcile the physical stock with the stock that the system is showing, we have this feature called the inventory count. When you do an inventory count, of course, you have to select a store and you can add notes, and you can do a partial inventory count if you want to count only specific items, or you can do a full inventory count. If you choose full, then all items to which you have activated the track stock button will be counted. In my case, let's do a partial inventory count. You can add items by category or by supplier, or we can search items manually from here. So if we add, for example, some items, let's just add 3 of them. So we can click on this button save if we just want to prepare the document but we don't want to start counting now, or save and count if you want to start counting immediately. So we can count the items and add the counted stock, and the system will say or will indicate if there is any difference, which can be positive or negative or maybe no difference at all. So after we fill this information, which we can count the inventory and write manually the number of the stock. But we can also use a barcode scanner to make this inventory count. We can connect a barcode scanner with the device where we have opened the back office, and just by scanning the barcode of the item, it will automatically increase the quantity. So if I scan the barcode of the berry dress, it will increase here the value by 1. If I scan another time, it will continue increasing, and so we can do this count very easily using the barcode scanner as well. When we finish all of this, counting all the items, we click on the button complete. The system will show a warning message to confirm changes, because once you click confirmed count, the system will update the stock of the item to the values that you have indicated in the counted column. So if this is what we want to do, we can confirm count, and then the document will be generated, which is in the status completed, and the stock of the item is updated to the counted values that we have indicated here. So this is about the inventory count. Then we have 2 very important reports in the advanced inventory. Inventory history, that shows all the changes that happen to your inventory, and it will indicate for each of these changes the date, the time, the item that had this change, the store, the employee who did the change, and the reason why the stock changed, what was the adjustment done, and what's the stock after. So for the inventory count that we just did, for example, we see these 2 records here. So in this inventory history, we can filter by the period of time that we want to check this inventory history. We can filter by stores, we can filter by employees if we want to see a particular employee, what did he do, and also we can filter by reasons. All reasons that cause the inventory change are listed here, starting from sales and refund, then all of these reasons in the advanced inventory: receive items, transfer orders, inventory count, damage, loss, production, and also if item edit, meaning that somebody edited the item manually. Now, in this report, which can also be exported if you want to maybe open it in Excel or Google Sheets, filter or do something else. In addition to this, because this report shows the inventory changes for all of the items, but if you want to check one particular item, just the history of that item, you can go to the item list and just by opening any item, if the track stock button is activated, you'll see this button, view history. And if you click on it, you see the inventory history only for this particular item. And you see the change start from the latest change and to the earliest one. This will show the changes between this period of time. So if you want to check another period of time, you can easily change the filters. And the other report that Advanced Inventory offers is the inventory evaluation that gives a general overview of all the stock that you have in your account, and you can easily check the total inventory value, the total retail value, the potential profit and the margin for all of the items that you have in stock. And this is for the date of today and for all stores and all categories, and you can filter as you wish. And then there is a breakdown by each item also. So you can see for each of our items the same data. You can see how many items you have in stock, the cost, the inventory value, the retail value, and the potential profit and the margin. And this report also can be exported. Another functionality in Advanced Inventory is also printing labels. So if you go to the item list and you have an active Advanced Inventory subscription, you will see this 3-dot icon, and if you click on it, you'll see the option to print labels. You can choose the label type among the types that we support. You can choose the store, because depending on the store, the system will read the price of the item. You can choose the barcode source field, which can be the SKU, the barcode, or none. In my case, since I have not added barcode for my items, I choose the SKU, but you can easily choose barcode as well if you have added barcodes to your items. We can choose if we want to print name or print the price of the item in the label. From here we can select the items. We can also add by category or by supplier if you want to print many labels. And here we add the quantity that we want to print. For example, let's say 5. Once we click on the Create Label button, the labels will be created, and using a label printer we can print these labels and attach to our items, and then later on use these labels during the sale process to add items quickly to the ticket. These are the functionalities that Advanced Inventory offers for you. The third add-on service that Loyverse has is integration. Integration allows to connect third-party applications to Loyverse and to keep your business running more smoothly. So you can sync with accounting, with e-commerce, with marketing or other applications. And for this, you can visit our app marketplace where we have listed this ready-to-use integrations. But also you can develop your own custom integration using the Loyverse API. You can find very easily the Loyverse API documentation in this link. The add-on services that I have just mentioned have a 14-day free trial that you can activate from settings, billing and subscription. The trial is really for free, meaning that you don't have to add any card. You just can activate the trial, use it for 14 days, and later decide if you want to continue and activate the subscription, or you want to unsubscribe and continue using the free features of Loyverse. The last section that we will discuss is the reports. As we mentioned in the beginning, in Loyverse back office, you will be able to see diverse sales reports that give you a complete view of your business. So based on the sales that you will issue in the Loyverse POS application, in the back office, you will be able to see 10 different reports, starting from the sales summary that will show the most important KPIs of your business, like gross sales, refunds, discounts, net sales, and gross profit. These reports can be filtered by different period of time. There is like this default periods that you can select very easily, but also you can navigate using the calendar and choose any period that you wish to see. You can also see the summary for all of your stores, or you can filter by a specific store, and also you can filter by employees as well. Loyverse, in addition to showing like this importance KPI for the selected period, also what it does is that it does a comparison of this period that you have selected with the previous period, and shows or indicates if you have any increase or decrease in your figures. There will be the graph representation for your sales that you can decide if you want it to show as an area or a bar. When we have selected a large period, for example, a month in this case, we can see if you want to see the breakdown by days or by weeks. And if we scroll down, we will see this breakdown, like detailed information for each week. We can see this gross sales, refund, discount, net sales, cost of goods, gross profit. We can also customize which data we want to see in the first view by clicking on this icon and activating these figures that we want to see, or just we can also hide if we don't want to see a particular information. All the reports can be exported by clicking on the export button, and you can open them in Excel, Google Sheets, or any other software that you might use for reporting. In addition to the sales summary, Loyverse also has like 9 other reports. Sales by item and sales by category will allow you to identify which item or which category is performing the best and take informed business decision based on this. So if we click on the sales by item, we will be able to see, like in the first view, the top 5 sold items based on their net sales for this selected period in the filters, and we can also see the chart representation of these 5 top items. We can also change how we want to view like this graph, like with as lines or as a pie or as a bar, and also how we want to see this breakdown, like by day or by week, the same way as in the sales summary. So this is for the top 5 sold items, and then of course there will be the breakdown by each item that you have sold in this period of time. And in the same way as in the sales summary, this report can be exported, and also you can select here the information that you want to see here in the back office. But of course, if you export, all available information will be exported in the CSV file. In the same way, in the sales by category, you can check which category is performing the best. Then we have the sales by employee report that will help you to track the performance of your employees. And you can see for each of them, like their gross sales, the refund, the discount, the net sales, how many receipts did they issue, what was their average sale, the tips that are related with the card payment system that we are integrated with, and how many customers did they sign up. Then we can see the sales by payment type. So for all the payment types that you have configured and used during your sales, you will see this report where you can see the payment types that you have used in this period of time, how many payment transactions were done with each of them, what was the payment amount, the refund amount, if there was any refund done, what was the refund amount, and what is the net amount. And here is the total. Then we can see the receipt. Of course, that all the receipts that are issued in the POS will be synchronized with the back office and appear in this section. Of course, for this, the POS device needs to be connected with the internet. Here you can filter, like if you want to see, for example, only sales, or if you want to see only the refunds. And from this section, it is also possible to cancel receipt. Like if I click on any of these rows, I can see the receipt in the right-hand panel. For example, this one was a refund. If this refund was issued by mistake, for example, and I don't want it to be calculated in my reports, I can cancel this refund. Just by clicking on this 3-dot icon, I can choose cancel. I will receive this warning that the receipt will not be counted in the reports and items will be deducted from stock since this was a refund. And it asked me if I'm sure to continue. So the refund will show in the receipt report in the status cancelled, but it will not be calculated in any of these other reports in the back office. The receipt report, in the receipt report, I can search for a particular receipt by writing the number of the receipt or the name of the customer that was assigned to it. And the receipt report can be exported in 2 ways. I can export like full receipt, or I can export the receipt by item in case that I want to check items separately. In addition to the receipt report, I will have also the discount reports where it will be displayed like the discounts that were applied in this period of time, how many times they were applied, and what was the amount discounted. In the same way, I have also the taxes report that will display like the total taxable sales and non-taxable sales and total net sales for the selected period in the filters. And if I have like more than a tax, it will show a breakdown of the tax here. Then also the shift report. So once you close the shift in the POS device, the shift report will appear in the back office in this shift menu. And if I click on any of these rows, I will see the shift report details in the right hand panel. These shift reports also can be exported. So we can export as a shift summary, or we can export because sometimes it's important to see this paid out and paid in registered during the shift. So if we want to check only these details, we can export this report in this format, pay in and payouts. These are the reports that Loyverse offers for you. And as mentioned in the beginning, we also have the Loyverse dashboard application where you can very easily check the reports and how to see how the sales are going, and also to check the stock of your items in any moment and in a very convenient way using the dashboard application. In the last section in the back office is the help, where you can communicate with us in 3 different ways. So there is the live chat that is available for you for the first 14 days after you sign up. Our managers are available 24/7, and if you have any questions or any doubts, you can send us a message and we will help you instantly. If you decide to activate any of the add-on services, the live chat will be available for you all the time, 24/7. But in case that you would like to study by yourself, we have the help center where we have more than 100 articles that describe step by step each function of Loyverse, how it works, how to configure it. And also, in addition to our help center, we have the Loyverse community where our users have shared their experiences with Loyverse, and if they had any questions, their questions have been answered here, and you can find very useful information. The information is also organized in chapters, so it's very easy to find what you might need. So this is all what I had prepared for you today. So in case that you have any questions or any doubts, feel free to reach out to us using the live chat that you will find available in your account after you sign up, or you can reach out to us from our main Loyverse website. If maybe in this demo you did not find the answers to your questions, we can also arrange personal demos one-to-one to clarify your doubts and to help you understand how to use Loyverse at its full potential in your business. Thank you for your attention.